What's good? What's good? What's good, beautiful people? It's your main man, Big G, coming at you all the way live. I'm in your space, I'm in your face, and I'm definitely blessed to be living on this wonderful Sunday evening. It is May 17th, 2026. We are live at 5 here on the Prime Time Network. This is Industry Talk. I am, very important term and definition. Big G. I am Big G. And welcome to Industry Talk. If you're hearing my voice, if you are locked in to our regular scheduled program, then you already know what I'm about to ask you to do. But before we go another further, I need you to share this live. I need you to share this conversation. I need you to push it out to all your friends. Tell them to lock us in. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Yes, indeed. So today we'll be talking with Jarrell Braswell. I know he's been spending time with um, his family out in Alabama since he's touched back down at home. We have some celebration going on, and he may be worn out. He may be tired. So if we get an opportunity to get Jarrell on, we'll talk to JB about everything that's going on his way and what's going on around the world. It's heating up a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. It hadn't gotten to the boiling point. The pot's not boiling over, but it's heating up. You paying attention to what's going on in Montgomery, Alabama, the march, the rally, the conversation is being stroked. Voter registration is the topic. Mobilization is the positioning. And whether you like it or not, whether you're ready for it or not, if you want things to go in your favor come midterm election, it's right around the corner, come November. I suggest you go to your constituents, your real constituents, check the temperature, and begin to ask the question of your community. What is it that you need of me? How can I best serve you? Because if you keep walking down this ideology of it's a you thing, or if you think it's about protecting or gerrymandering and redistricting, you're going to have a rude awakening because people, no matter where they are paying attention to what's going on what the people that are in power are doing, and they're going to be called to the carpet. Voter registration, peaceful rallies, peaceful discussions. We don't have to tear up anything. We don't have to destroy the infrastructure of anything. But we could end the bullshit overnight with the stroke of a pen and the push of a button. This has nothing to do with the internet. This has something to do with going into that voters booth and making the selection that the unit, the mobilized unit, says that, hey, this is the direction that we're going, because these are the individuals that have reached out to our community and are going to serve our best interest. This is the contract that we negotiated. And this is what we have mapped out for our community's future. Not just empty rhetoric, not just folks rabble rousing, but making a concerted effort, an intent, a resolute, a defined strategic plan moving towards getting what you want accomplished in your community done. So I'm here for it. Today, I'm here for the conversation. I'm here to engage in it. Today, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have any concerns, hit me up. Let me know. Drop it in the messages. Drop a comment. Let me know where you're chiming in from. Which city are you tapped in from? That's what I want to know. Big shout out to my brother E, CEO, and the official Ms. Jamaica. Make sure y'all subscribe to Boss Talk Podcast 101, Boss Talk Podcast 101, Primetime. This is for you.
It's about that time. We decided we were going to do something a little bit different today, add some different elements to what we already do. It's going down there, trying to figure out ways to break the algorithm. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to all our channels, all our different platforms. Boss Talk 101, Boss Talk 101 Primetime. It's crazy. We got to get it done, though. Boss Talk 101, where the bosses talk.
Where the bosses talk. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not yet subscribed to Boss Talk Podcast 101, Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime, this is for you. Stop what you're doing right now and go subscribe to Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime on YouTube, all social media platforms. Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to make sure you tap in. Right now, over 72,000 subscribers and well over 11 million views and watch time hours. So make sure that you continue to support, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and keep tapping in with us, because we're going to keep on bringing you this hot content every day and in every way. It's your main man, Big G. And make sure, like I said, stop what you're doing right now and tap in. Like, share, subscribe. Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime. Yes, indeed. So, had a very, very interesting conversation the other day with Droopy Martinez out of Corpus Christi. And got to have Droopy back. We started digging into his past. We started to talk about his life, his history, and we didn't even really get an opportunity to talk about the music. We mentioned it, we touched it, we jumped into it, but we really went down memory lane and hit some uh, traumatic times through the conversation. And I know that it may have triggered some things with Droopy, bringing back those memories, bringing back that conversation. And I just have to thank Droopy for locking in with me, staying true to form with the conversation, and allowing us to dig deep into his life, who he is, his history, his childhood, and the traumas that he dealt with, the reasons why he leaned into the gang culture and life, ultimately putting him in prison for 10 years and coming out of prison, fighting to find himself and reclaim, who he was prior to going in, and ultimately coming out on the other side with an illustrious music career that he's grinding out. He is signed to Savage Life, and he's, working his career. He's a professional, and he's doing his thing. So we're looking for part two of that conversation. We're looking for part two of that conversation, and that kind of brings us into what we're doing as a community. Because if our youth have to depend on gang culture as an outlet, and don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking and I'm definitely not condoning. What I'm saying is, if that's what we have to lean towards, if that's what our youth are leaning into, as opposed to the YMCA's, the Boys and Girls Clubs, mentorship programs, after school programs, football, basketball, track field, baseball, um, the arts, music, ROTC, intramural sports. If there isn't enough of this activity in community, then it's our responsibility to provide it, and provide it consistently, because the gang is going to be there consistently. They're going to be mischievous consistently. They're going to do detrimental things consistently. And if we do not put ourselves into a position to whereas we provide those outlets and not try to force kids to participate, but give them options of what's there, because they might like music, they might like graphic design, they might like, and they need assistance with this. Hell, they might just want to learn how to really read. And they need those programs, those incubators, as a catalyst to push them forward and away from the gang culture. Now, do you catch all of them? Maybe not, but you damn sure need to try. Have to try. It is imperative that we work hard and diligently to ensure that we provide all of the resources that we can for these youth that are coming down the pipeline right now, future generations, and provide them with all of the necessary tools to succeed. Because if we don't, just like the Droopy Martinez story, they go into gang culture. That's an option. We cannot sit there and pretend as though that is not the option. Doesn't make a difference if you take them to church every Sunday, every day. If you do not have an auxiliary form, then yes, you're going to have issues. You're going to have they're definitely going to explore. They're definitely going to find out if there are other things out there in the world. Just like say, are you gonna bump your head on the stove or on the wall or touch the stove? I'm telling you, it's hot. You don't give a damn. So give them the options so they don't have to burn their hand or bump their head. But if they choose to, and they make that decision to bump their head or burn their hand, then they understand the consequences thereof. Structure, discipline. It's a hard type of love, but it's a necessary one. Um, Tonight we have game 7. Game 7 goes down tonight. Detroit Pistons and the Cavs locking up in what I would consider to be a very um, impactful game for the Detroit Pistons, because this is going to show you exactly who the Detroit Pistons are, their identity, their definition, their physicality, everything about this team. From the front office, from ownership, front office, all the way down the pipeline, coaching staff, Bickerstaff is just doing an amazing job. I'm not gloating. I'm not praising. I'm saying based on what was going on 2 years ago to present day is unbelievable. Every last individual on that team can be a starter. Hands down. Every last individual on the team. If they're on the bench and they're waiting patiently for their number to be called, you can best believe it doesn't make a difference where you put them in rotation. Every last individual on that Detroit Pistons team is a dog. So when you have resources, when you have tools, when you have all of the right tools, it's a matter of piecing the puzzle together as the game goes along, seeing how the game flows, seeing where you piece in different parts to the puzzle. Yeah. Tonight is impact. It's an impactful game because it defines what and who this team is. And when they go to play the Knicks, it's not even going to be funny how they're going to run through those boys. Because you can see it. The matchups are off. They don't have the strength, the durability, the shooting power. Neither team, the Cavs nor the Knicks. So I'm looking forward to the closeout tonight and the start of the next series. I'm here for it all. And that's not biased conversation. That's the analytics. That's the data. You do the matchups. Because you can't handle Cade on the floor bringing the ball up because he's a threat. One-on-one matchup, it's impossible. Dennis Jenkins bringing the ball up, frees Cade to move around. Impossible matchup. And if Jenkins is going downhill, he's definitely going to get to the cup. And 9 times out of 10, he's going to dunk on your ass. Duran in the middle can stretch the floor as well. And this is just on the offensive side now. Just wreaking havoc internally. Spin moves, good touch, power. Definitely effective. LeVert, Robinson, shooting ability. Tobias Harris, just a dominant force across the board. I don't care where he is. Inside, mid-range, three-pointer. You have to make sure that you cover every last one. Ausar Thompson, unbelievable. They try to say he's not a scorer because he's not really thinking about scoring, but the young man is so athletic, he can score at will. At will. Defensively, like white on rice, you cannot sit there and take advantage of it when you can't fall asleep. I don't give a damn how good you think you are. He's on you. Fighting through screens, even on the switch. Come on, man. It's terrible. Because you thinking that you done shook him and you got somebody else in your ass just as thick as Thompson was on your ass. Are you paying attention to the team? Really? Like, are you really paying attention to the team? Sasser, full health now. Fully recovered. Lighten up the rim. Another defensive threat. Are y'all paying attention? Stewart. Isaiah Stewart. I mean, these are names that I'm telling you that you do. It's hard to sit there and think about the matchups for any of these teams. I think I said LeVert with the shooting power with Robinson. But we already know Cade and Dennis Jenkins can light that motherfucker up. Tobias lighting that motherfucker up. Then you got Reed, Green, Tolu Smith. How can you match up with any of these individuals at full strength, full capacity, full health? It's impossible. But I'm tripping. No, I'm just looking at the writing on the wall. There's so many threats, so many parts that you can change in and out, and the machine still runs effectively and efficiently across the board. Ron Holland. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? I've given you the entire list. Steady mentioning folks in terms of the threats offensively and defensively that the Detroit Pistons have, that the Cavs, the New York Knicks, I don't see the matchups. Well, you know, if you can see something differently than what I'm seeing, please let me know. What's going on, Terry Allred? How you doing, bro? What's happening with you? And I'm definitely getting into the game today. So I'm gonna get myself ready and get to all of the stuff that I need to do. Get me some chips, some dip ready, and sit back and enjoy tonight what I know is going to be a knockdown, drag out fight. Now, I don't think I'm taking anything away from Harden, Mitchell, Allen, none of those guys with the Cavs. But they're in Detroit. The stadium is going to be filled to capacity, probably lined up outside right now, waiting to get in. It's going to be numbing. The sound is going to be numbing in the building. And I will say this. Yes, now referees have the capacity to make mistakes. Yes, they're human. They're human. But let's make sure tonight we let these guys play basketball. We're not letting things get out of control. We're not letting things get out of hand. But all that ticky-tack shit, all of the non-calls that should have been called, man, let's keep this thing the way it's supposed to be. You know, regardless of how everything is going, the spreads, the television, you know, we didn't stretch it out to a game 7. Now it's, you know, let's get to it. Let these men play some basketball and not have the referees dictate the outcome of the game and let the basketball fall where it falls. If in fact you are tuned in and tapped in with everything that we've got going on, make sure you lock in with my man Jarrell Braswood at www.jbcomedy.com.
Hey, what it do, world? It's your boy, Comedian JB, the real J Braswood, Comedian J Braswood. Hey, dig this. I got a website, man. Tap in at jbcomedy.com.
Yes, indeed. And I'm about to try to see what's going on with this camera. Y'all give me just a moment. Let me see why this thing is doing what it's doing. There we go. See, sometimes it just takes the stroke of a little stroke of some attention. All right, just a little attention. That's all. Just want some attention. Okay. So now we're locked in on that front camera. Because it was blurry. And, you know, I don't want this message to be delivered to you guys blurry. I want you to be able to see me crystal clear all the time. And so, as I was saying, you know, we going back, because I didn't give him a little sports. excerpt about the Detroit Pistons and the game that's going on tonight. We have to pay attention to what's going on in our community, giving these kids an opportunity. And that happens with putting pressure on the councilmen, senators, congressmen, aldermen, mayors, governors, lieutenant governors in your given state. Voter registration. Yes, I am going to, well, I had that clip saved. I thought I had it saved, but I don't. But we pushed all of the correct steps to legally register to vote. Make sure you lock in with that. It's on our Facebook page. Go check it out, see what it says, and take advantage of the simple steps. Vote, vote.gov, G-O-V, vote.gov. You can go there, and any questions that you may have, you can find the answer on vote.gov. Okay. People are seemingly in an uproar because when you come to the realization that what you thought was going to happen with an administration and it doesn't happen, it kind of backfires, then now you're in fallout protocol, because the shit has hit the fan. The support that you thought that you would have globally is fleeting. It's waning, and you have to remember that the one thing we have to do is remain unified as a people, right? And I don't necessarily have to subscribe to what it is that you do or how you do what you do. But we have to get to some semblance of understanding about what we're fighting for, because if not, it's just going to fall apart, right? So you have to meet, you have to talk, you have to strategically plan, not just get out and stump the yard or boots on the ground with no defined message or reasoning behind what it is that you're doing. Because a lot of times people get you riled up, and what are we fighting for? And it fizzles away because there's no definition of what we're fighting for. What are we aligning ourselves to? How does this benefit our community in the future? What are we losing on the other side of this, if in fact we agree to some of the terms that are laid out based on what they bring back to the table? It's a open negotiation of how you prepare your community and position your community to win. Your congressmen and senators and individuals in the know have a clear-cut understanding of what types of jobs and contracts are being bidded on, government contracts, what types of companies are talking about trying to come into your areas, where they want to position themselves in your states, what types of jobs can be provided, what is necessary. And these are years down the line. So it gives individuals an opportunity to go train to become an electrician, HVAC, plumbing, welding, clerical, you name it. They have all of the types of positions that will possibly be available. And before they outsource those jobs, it's imperative that within your state, if you have large contracts that are coming in and building has to be done, you can become a contractor, general contractor. We have Yates and other big general contractors for corporate facility. But if in fact you can get those machines, you know how to work those machines, you have crews that can do that, then you could possibly put in bids for those types of contract if you know how to do that type of work. I'm not saying just go try some shit. No, that is not what I'm saying. But you have to have a communication with these people so that you know what's coming down the pipeline. So you can get prepared. You can get your business in order to get prepared for these things that are coming. And they're coming. And your representative has to fight for those jobs or those bids in your area. This isn't a game. You ever figured out why schools aren't being improved in your area? If you figured out why the same bridges haven't been repaired or restoration has been talked about, roads are damaged because your representative is not fighting for your community. That's it. Or it goes hand in hand. The community isn't pushing the lever. They're not at the meetings. They're not communicating to those representatives that, hey, man, this is what we need done. And if you're not here to get it done, we're going to get somebody in here that will get it done with us and for us. The ongoing conflict with Iran is dominating the news, highlighted by a U.S. naval blockade in the Strait of Hormuz, following the collapse of peace talks in Pakistan. Yeah. Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy lost his re-election bid after being targeted by President Trump during the primaries. Meanwhile, a massive national mall prayer rally in Washington has sparked debates regarding church and state. Now, remember, you see how they bring this shit up? Because I mentioned about, go back a couple episodes ago, I had mentioned about why the churches remain silent, or why religious groups remain silent, because they don't want to lose their tax exemption. Now we're talking about church and state. There's a lot of things, a lot of debates that are going to be sparked and spurned through what's going on, what's taking place right now, because we're not paying attention. But now the government is trying to leverage the power that they have over churches to keep your mouth shut. You don't want to lose this funding that nobody knows that you're getting. Yeah. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. We had two EA-18 fighter jets collide in midair and crashed while performing at the Fighter Skies Air Show. Prayers go out to the families, of course, but the pilots did eject safely. It's still terrifying to see something like that happen. And Ukraine launched its largest drone swarm to date against targets in Russia, with Russian defenses reportedly shooting down 81 drones headed for Moscow. That's what's in the news. Conflict, conflict, conflict. That's what they shove down your throat. Nothing but conflict, distractions. All I can say is keep your faith, keep your head locked in on God and what He has you out here doing, what you're prescribed to be out here doing and engaged in. Don't let anything or anyone get in your way, because your vision and what it is that you're trying to get accomplished, no one will ever understand it because it's your vision. You cannot allow other individuals' insecurities to diminish the brightness that you have and the accomplishments that you're working towards getting done. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Let me know. Thank you to everyone who's joined me today, participating, having a good time with me out here. Like I said, I'm about to get ready for this game. I'm going to lock in. Tomorrow, I need you to lock in, tap in. We have Bree Melton that will be joining us tomorrow. Live at 5. It's going to be a great conversation that we're going to have with Bree. Yes, the 18th. We're getting it in. And so get ready to go on a roller coaster ride of a conversation, because she has a lot to talk about. She has some new business things or ventures that are going on that we're going to talk about. And she says herself personally, she's got a lot to talk about. So we're going to get into every part of it tomorrow with Bree. And I look forward to the conversation. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a great time. Jay Shaw, what's going on, brother? What's going on? Good to see you guys here and locked in. I'm about to go watch me some basketball. And I will, if I can get in contact with Jarrell, because like I said, I know he's with family. I know he's been resting because they've been partying. They've been getting it in. I think it's 60-year anniversary on something going on over that way. We'll find out. We'll get all the details. But I know they've been having a good time with all of his family out there in Alabama. So big shout out to my brother Jarrell Braswell. And yeah, let's keep this thing going. Let's keep this thing going. It's been another great episode of Industry Talk here on the Prime Time Network. Okay. Quest is in the recording studio. That's what's happening. Laying it down. Had another great session today. Speaking about a lot of things that are going on in our community, in the world. Let's work towards getting this thing right this time. And that means we have to have people at the table giving their input in terms of how to get it done and what is important, so that we can check everything off of the list and accomplish all goals, but meticulously check everything off the list. the most important things getting out of the way first, and then, y'all know the deal. So as always, beautiful people, it's always about health, wealth, wellness. Stay dangerous. What's good, beautiful people? It's your main man, Big G. And this is my personal invite to all of you to join me on Industry Talk on the Prime Time Network daily at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, where I get into great conversations with entrepreneurs, artists, industry leaders, you name it, we bring it to the table. So make sure you tap in with us, lock us in, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And we stream on all major platforms. And be sure to visit us at gemsitpublishing.com. This is Industry Talk. Let's get into it.
Motion.